Today we're going to look at combining like terms with inequalities, which is very similar to what we did when we looked at combining like terms with our equations. The only thing different is that we are going to now have to graph our solutions that we get at the end. But just as a little reminder, remember when you divide or multiply by a negative number, you have to remember to flip that inequality sign so you graph the correct solutions. So let's look at a couple examples together. Our first example, we have 4x plus 6 plus 3 is less than or equal to 17. So looking at this left side of my inequality, I realize I have two constant terms here of a positive 6 and a positive 3. And since I'm on the same side of the equal sign, I don't choose the opposite. I combine them exactly with the signs that I see. So in my calculator, I'm going to put in 6 plus 3 to combine my like terms. That gives me a problem of 4x plus 9 is less than or equal to 17. Now it just becomes a two-step inequality where I use my inverse operations. I'm going to first subtract 9 from both sides to give me 4x is less than or equal to, and 17 minus 9 is 8. My last step to get that x by itself is going to be dividing by 4. So x is less than or equal to 2. So I can come over here and I can grab all of my solutions for this problem. 0, 1, 2. So since it's less than or equal to, it is a closed dot on 2 because the equal to makes it closed, and less than means I shade everything to the left. Let's try another example together. This time, we've got negative 9 is greater than negative 5n minus 4n. So we notice over here on this right-hand side of the equal sign, I have two variables. I have a negative 5n and a negative 4n. So since I have two coefficients in front of those variables, I can go ahead and put them in my calculator just as I see them to combine my like terms. So negative 5 minus 4 more gives me a negative 9, and I bring the n down with that coefficient. So I have negative 9 is greater than negative 9n. So this is a one step. All I've got to do is divide both sides by negative 9. That cancels here. Anything divided by itself is just 1. So 1 is greater than n. But in order to rewrite our inequality so we get this answer correct and we don't graph our solutions backwards, we want the variable on the left. So I rewrite it with the variable coming first. So I put n first, and since I moved n to the left, I flip my inequality sign and write my answer. So n is less than 1 is my final answer, so that we make sure that we are graphing the correct solutions to our problem. So this time at 1, I'm going to put an open dot because it's less than, no equal to underneath, but still it's less than, so I still shade to the left. Our next example is still going to be combining like terms, but this time we're also going to add in some distribution as well. So we have 15 is greater than 2 times x plus 4 plus 3. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to distribute first before I go ahead and combine my like terms. So remember, distribute that 2 to everything inside the parentheses. That gives us 15 is greater than 2 times x is just 2x. 2 times 4 is a positive 8. And I bring down that plus 3. Now I see I've got two constants that are able to be combined on this right-hand side of the inequality. So 15 is greater than 2x. We've got a positive 8 and a positive 3. When I combine them, I get plus 11. So now it's a two-step inequality, but we want our variables on the left-hand side. So I'm going to rewrite this statement with the variable first. So just like in the example up here, I'm just going to rewrite this whole side on the left. So 2x plus 11, not changing any signs. But then I have to remember I'm flipping this inequality symbol and it's less than 15. So I've changed nothing about my problem. I've just made it easier to solve so that when I get my solutions, I graph them correctly. So two-step inequality now. I see adding 11, so I'm going to subtract 11 from both sides. That cancels here. 2x is less than 15 minus 11 is 4. Last step is to divide by 2. So x is less than 2. All my solutions are going to be graphed on this number line. 0, 1, 2. At 2, since it's a less than symbol, I'm just putting in an open dot, and I'm shading everything to the left. So that is multi-step inequalities where we're combining like terms and distributing. And you just have to remember, you combine your constants with your constants and your variable terms with your variable terms.